Hi, and welcome to another episode of Comics, Etc.
Yeah.
Yep.
This week is a special episode. It's so special because
I didn't really have too much of a poll, so I'm going to have to do series I've covered many times. I have nothing new to say about these series. This is going to be really boring on my end. Just listen to this guy.
here are reviews.
Alright, so for my first issue, I'm going to be talking about X-Force. X-Force. Alright, this issue, I have to be honest, it was kind of hard to start up. It starts up with a new crew that we're obviously supposed to get interested in, and we're like, oh, what are they going to be doing with this? I did like the lack of the team in this one. They do show up periodically, and they are mentioned. Actually, they're not mentioned. No one's mentioned. Not towards the end. But honestly, it was nice to have them just there. I did like the fact that they introduced what they call MI-13, which is the mutant relations.
I like MI-13. Betsy Braddock, I think, used to be on MI-13.
Yep.
Captain Britain used to be in
Oh,
MI-13.
yeah. Well, they're reintroduced in this
Yay!
one, and they come back, and it's like.
I'm going to give you my opinion on the comic I didn't read. I liked about it was this man's flaming hands.
I'm going to give this one a 7 out of 10. The writing was a little bit better, even though it was a little hard at the beginning.
So hard.
But, honestly, it's better than normal, honestly. Honestly.
Alright, so, to match Mr. Hueth's Marvel-centric week, I am going to have a DC-centric week, starting with Superboy. This acts as the final issue for the character John that was introduced recently. The evil son of Superman who eventually became less evil. Now, when this arc started up, when they first introduced the evil John, and they said he was going to be replacing Kon and worming his way into the team and being a villain, blah, 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 there were a lot of people who were really unhappy with that, and rightfully so. Even if the new 52 Superboy, wasn't everyone's favorite cup of tea, people were starting to like him, but we see him return in the last couple issues, and he's been working with John, and then we're seeing John make the full transition to a real hero, which, once you become a real hero, there's only one thing left for you. And it rhymes with Beth. Once you become a hero, there's only Beth for you. Despite all of that, the odd premise, it was actually a really, fun issue. I think Aaron Kuder did a great job, and I'm excited to see where it goes now that we have Kon back as the primary hero. It was a nice, satisfying ending, and I'm excited to see where the series goes. I'm going to give this one an 8 out of 10. Superboy!
Alright, for my next one, I'm going to be doing a series that I have covered way too much. Thunderbolts! We're still on the arc where it's Punisher versus Thunderbolts, and this one, actually pretty good. The art is still kind of Thunderbolty. The humor in it seems very forced, unless it's the Deadpool humor. The Deadpool humor in this is very, very good. Everything else just kind of falls flat. There's a part where Black Widow and Hawkeye are talking, and it's like, oh, here's some comedic relief. I'm like, I really don't care. So, in this issue, if you couldn't tell, Punisher fights Ghost Rider. He doesn't catch the win in this. Just want to let you know. This one, again, it's a 7 out of 10 for this one, because the story's picking up. It's looking good. If you're not reading Thunderbolts, alright. If you are, yeah, you probably agree with me, because I'm pretty much spot on this. I'm pretty good at gauging bad series.
Alright, and for my second and last review, I'm going to be doing the newest issue of Batman. We're finally out of 0 year, and we're seeing a return to the present, and I could not be more excited. The art on this one isn't handled by Greg Capullo. It wasn't handled by Greg Capullo this week. Instead, we had Matteo Scalera doing the art for this issue, and I love his art. Very kinetic, very sharp. If you haven't read anything from him, you should totally go pick up Dead Body Road right now. It's nice to see that Snyder hasn't lost a beat, even with the return to the present. 0 year was a great, great run. Everyone was loving it, acclaim all around. And so it's nice to see that they aren't willing to just kind of settle back on that and let that be what their run is known for. And, from what we're seeing in this one and what I've been seeing on Snyder's Twitter, It seems like he's really going to go for a really dynamic, explosive arc that'll outdo his other ones. What appeals to me most is that we're seeing a very fallible Batman. With the Court of the Owls, he didn't know about their presence in Gotham. With the Joker, he didn't know about his plans. With everything that's happened so far, we're seeing a Batman who is definitely clever and who puts his detective skills to work, but isn't omniscient. And I'm really enjoying that. And then we have that same sort of theme here where Batman discovers this killer has been, spoiler alert, killing. Okay, but yes, definitely pick it up. Definitely stay along for this ride. New issue Batman, I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. I think it's a really great start to the new arc. I think you're going to love it. I'm going to actually kick this one off today. I think we're actually going to attack this issue of Future's End, issue number 15, a little bit differently. I have some good things to say about it. Mr. Hueth has some critiques to make. I actually found this issue somewhat entertaining. I mean, again, it didn't knock my socks off, but I didn't hate it. I didn't finish it. Well, I did actually. I did finish it inside. But I didn't shed a tear as well. Because, while, as Mr. Hueth is going to cover very soon, there were all of the cliches. It was a surprisingly well-paced issue. Again, lots of filler. We see a romance developing between Hawkman and Amethyst. And the interaction between Superman and Lois Lane was bad. But we've basically established that that's not Superman under the mask anymore. And everyone knows this already, but you, especially reading Superman currently, you can tell from the way he speaks, he definitely sounds younger. Like a lot of his terminology, a lot of the way he addressed Lois, it definitely felt like a more kind of, or rather I should say, less experienced Superman. And I'm thinking that that's more evidence that it's going to be Earth 2 Superman underneath him. Oh no, Constantine's part was really bad. There was literally like one page where he rolled out of a taxi, and then... But it did tie into the whole Brainiac thing. So, I would like to say that this issue finally proved that that thing is not Brainiac. It's
totally Brainiac.
Looking for Brainiac.
Alright, he's right. I have a bunch of critiques, but before I get to them, I have to agree. This was a much better paced comic. I actually have to say it wasn't a cliffhanger at the end, but I think it was a good, like, stopping point. Yeah. It was one of those, like, oh, things might happen, but it's not like, whoa! Because, well, actually, this entire series is absolutely not like that.
I did forget something. I'm sorry. And it was something that I think you'll agree was somewhat good. Mr. Miracle?
Oh, yeah, I wasn't going to get to that, but that is another really good thing.
Like the fact that he has some more liberties than the other two captured heroes does. I thought that was actually a really nice touch because I was not expecting it.
I wasn't expecting it until he popped up. I'm like, oh yeah, that's what he does, isn't it?
Yeah, it totally makes sense. But I'm really glad that they utilized that because I was like, the first time they showed him in a panel, I was like, really? And it definitely feels like now there's another layer. It's like, are these heroes there because they want to be there? Like, have they not escaped yet because they're trying to figure what's happening? And again, maybe I'm giving the writers too much credit, but I'm kind of feeling like maybe there is this subtle under that things aren't exactly as super transparent as we think they are. Okay, back to you.
Alright, I just want to critique that, like you said, this is cliche from start to finish. The opening fight between Superman and Rampage, she literally throws a bus full of children off of a bridge. Started reading that, I'm like, oh sweet, they're gonna fight, and then she lifts the bus, I'm like, no. And they're like, oh, Superman, she's throwing that bus full of children. I'm like, no. Superman, and then she throws it. I'm like, oh, we're doing this today? And then the banter between Amethyst and Hawkman literally has the cliche of, this isn't going to be a cliche. Like,
that's the worst cliche,
yeah,
too.
That's the one that's like, this isn't going to be one of those cliches, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, you're right. Pretty much, it was cliche from start to finish. The only thing that wasn't a cliche is Constantine just rolling out and being all like, hey, what's going on? But then I'm all like, oh yeah, you're in this universe, aren't you?
Yeah, right? Like,
kind of thrown in randomly, but oh no, I just realized that's a new storyline to follow.
Technically, they already introduced him, and they already introduced not Brainiac.
Oh,
so
yeah.
they've really just merged two storylines into a completely incoherent storyline.
Still, not that bad of an issue.
Right.
Still not amazing, but a lot more palatable, despite all the... Do you think the cliches are the reason it was palatable?
I don't want to think that. The art also wasn't terrible throughout the whole thing.
What would you give it?
I'm going to give this one a...
Hold on.
Oh.
I think we can come to a consensus on this one. 7? 7 out of 10? Like 7 out of 10? Like, it's not that bad. It's not great, but it's definitely a step up from what we've been getting. If you were on the fence, this might be a good place to hop right back on. If you are still listening to us, you might want to just stay away until...
Keep listening to us.
Yeah, just keep listening to us. But yeah, so we're going to go 7 out of 10 with Futures. Oh, hey! I didn't see you there.
What's up? Thank you for joining us on this super special, totally dynamic episode.
If you haven't told people already, I assume there's a reason. Please let us know that reason. If you have told them, I assume there's also a reason for that.
Yeah, and, of course, talk to us.
What are we doing now?
Don't do this. Remember who you are, what you are. Don't go causing any waterfalls out there in that world. And, oh god, no. No.
Eyeball!
Oh. I will always love you.
What's your name? What's your name? Who's your daddy? Who's your daddy? He rich, is he rich like me?
Kind of irreverent, but it's fun. It's super duper fun. You don't have to be all like,